but you can call me Jack. And this is my story. I was just born in May 29, 1917 in Brookline, Massachusetts. But I had a lot of sicknesses, such as a whooping cough, measles, chickenpox, and scarlet fever. I am the second oldest of my family of 9. My family was a rich and powerful family. I wanted to be more like my older brother, Joe Jr., because he was stronger, smarter, taller, and faster than me. Once he challenged me for a bike race. We would go one way, and I would go the other. We would turn, and it would look like we were crashing. The first one to bail would lose. I was determined, and I didn't bail. He was determined too, and we crashed. Joe remained unhurted. I got 28 stitches. I went to Harvard, where Joe was already a student. I played football, tennis, basketball, golf, and when I was playing football, I ruptured a disc in my spine. It bothered me for the rest of my life. My father was an ambassador to London. Sometimes I would vacate to London. I became very interested in world affairs. My thesis in Harvard was a book, Why England Slept. After graduating, Joe and I went to the Navy. He was a flyer in Europe. I was commander of the patrol torpedo boat in the South Pacific. We were on a mission to stop Japanese destroyers from carrying their supplies to their island. A Japanese destroyer was unleashed. It ripped us in half. Pappy, one of our crew members, had horrible burns on his face and his hand. I led my men to a small island miles away. I told Pappy from a strap of his life jacket. 6 days, and we spent 6 days in that island, only eating coconut water. 2 natives came with Japanese guns. I carved a message into a coconut shell. The day after, we were rescued. Unfortunately, my brother was not so lucky. His plane blew up during a mission in Europe. I was awarded with a medal of courage and leadership. I had to choose the kind of work I wanted to do after the war. I wanted to be a writer or a teacher, but my father convinced me to become a politician and to run as a senator for Massachusetts, where I won! Yay! This was the beginning of my political career. At 36, I married Jacqueline Bouvier. Unfortunately, my back started to hurt again, and I had 2 serious operations. While recovering, I wrote the book Profiles in Courage. I won a Pulitzer Prize. It was about several U.S. Senates. The same year, Caroline was born. I became very popular. I decided to run for president on 1960. I was the candidate for the Democratic Party. On November 1960, I defeated the Republican Richard Nixon in a very close race. I chose Lyndon B. Johnson to become my vice president. At 43, I was the youngest president and the first Catholic president of the United States. And then my son was born, John, also known as John Jr. In my speech, I spoke of the need for all Americans to be active citizens. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. I had many worries as a president. The possibility of a nuclear war between the Soviet Union and USA. If that happens, millions of people will die. So I didn't go in boom boom style. Instead, I just wait there, and nothing happened. I created the Peace Corps. Americans can volunteer to work anywhere in the world where it's needed. in medicine, construction, etc., etc. I wanted to explore the space. The Soviet Union was ahead already, but I decided to catch up. I convinced the Congress to approve $22 billion for Project Apollo. We will land an American man to the moon! Yay. Another big problem was the racism. The U.S. Supreme Court made the law that segregation was prohibited. However, many states did not obey. Martin Luther King Jr. was protesting peacefully, and I decided to go on TV and speak. 100 years of delay have passed since President Lincoln freed slaves. Yet there hears that grandsons are not fully free. I made it clear that all Americans, regardless of their skin color, should enjoy a good and happy life. On November 22, 1963, I was in Texas for my campaign. As my car drove, there were gunshots. I was wounded in my head and my neck. I died. Police arrested Lee Harvey Oswald, but on November 24, another man, Jack Ruby, shot and killed Oswald, so nobody knows why he killed me. My death caused enormous sadness. Hundreds of thousands of people went to my funeral. People remember me because I believe that people can solve their problems if they work together.